Welcome back, Weird Beard, with more coverage coming to you from Valorant Masters. Berlin is happening right now, and we've got a really tough match that's been going on in some of these seeding matches. We're about to talk to somebody from F4Q. Right now, it's Efina. Efina, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today. First thing that I really want to start off with is, it seems like both Korea and Japan have really been struggling against some of these North American teams. Where do you think that the disconnect is lying for you guys playing against teams from North America right now?
네, 피나님 와주셔서 감사합니다.
네네.
일단 한국 팀들이랑 일본 팀들이 미국 북미 팀들 상대로 좀 부진하는 성적을 보이고 있는데요. 혹시 어떤 이유 때문에 이렇게 동아시아 팀들이 북미 팀들 상대로 좀 안 좋은 성적을 거두고 있을까요?
일단은 샷적으로는 한국이랑 북미 다른 팀들이랑은 전혀 다른 게 그렇게 크진 않다고 생각을 하고요. 아무래도 이런 국제 대회에 대한 경험이나 자신감 그런 게 좀 큰 비중을 차지하고 있는 것 같습니다.
Right. I think the biggest disconnect is not necessarily the mechanics of the players themselves, because I think these regions like Korea and Japan have what it takes physically, but I think the disconnect is really in the amount of experience they have in LAN events and the level of confidence that the NA players bring to the scene.
Now, in July, you guys got a new coach who was added into the roster. What's been the biggest change that's essentially happened since you've added the new coach, since we didn't see you in Reykjavik? Has it just been adding the coach, or what's really helped fuel you guys to be able to be where you are today?
네, 7월 달에 코치님이 합류를 하셨는데요.
네.
코치님이 합류하신 이후에 어떤 변화가 좀 있었나요, F4Q에는?
어떻게 보면은 저희가 어떤 판단을 하든지 항상 본능에 이끌려서 느낌적인 것으로 이제 플레이했다면 이제 코치님이 오시고 나서 좀 왜 그렇게 해야 됐는지 좀 이론적으로 채워주시는 부분들도 있었고요. 그리고 어떻게 하면은 저희가 가지고 있는 단점을 보완하고 할 수 있다거나, 그리고 어떻게 하면 장점을 더 살릴 수 있는가, 그런 거에 대해서 많이 알려주셨습니다.
Before the coach joined, we were a team who made decisions very much on just our game sense, and there weren't really very many strategies or tactics that we applied. But once Locomotive joined, we were able to really start to apply like the theory of why we make certain decisions in the game. So like the logics and we started to basically think about strategy. He also taught us, what our biggest weaknesses were and how we should overcome them. And lastly, he also really helped us improve our strengths.
Now, in this match against Sentinels, you guys were the very first ones to play Breeze on an international stage, not to mention that you banned out Icebox. What was the thought process kind of, where not only were you playing Breeze for the first time, but why did you say no to Icebox, a map that you guys have been fairly consistent on?
네, 센티널즈와의 경기에서는 국제대회에서 처음으로 브리즈라는 맵이 나왔는데요.
네.
아이스박스를 밴하고 브리즈가 나온 데 있어서 혹시 그 이유가 있다면 좀 설명해 주실 수 있을까요?
깊게는 말씀 못 드리는데 이 팀 기밀이다 보니까 브리즈가 상대적으로 아이스박스보다 좀 더 자신이 있었다. 그리고 브리즈가 어떻게 보면은 맵이 굉장히 넓고 피지컬적으로 많이 활용될 수 있는 그런 맵인 것 같아가지고 브리즈를 연습하고 픽했습니다.
Alright, so I can't reveal too much because it's, a team secret and it's part of our strategy. But I will say that because Breeze is such a big map, it's a map that we can really rely on our mechanics. And so it was a map that we were pretty confident in to bring up against Sentinels.
And, one of the other things that really kind of stuck out was just how much it felt hard to go against Tenz. Tenz ended up being 54, 23, and 9 across the two maps. How do you contend with a player that's just has all the momentum behind it? Were you guys, struggling to be able to contain him, or was it more than just his teammates were setting him up to be successful?
네, 이번 경기 같은 경우엔 텐즈 선수가 54킬 23데스를 기록을 했는데요.
네.
텐즈를 상대하는 데 있어서 좀 어떤 어려움이 있었는지, 아니면 개인적인 피지컬이 정말 뛰어났던 건지 아니면은 센티널즈라는 팀원들이 텐즈를 좀 많이 밀어주는 경기였는지 어떻게 느끼셨는지 궁금하네요.
저는 두 가지 전부 다 맞다고 생각을 해요. 왜냐면은 텐즈가 어떻게 보면은 되게 세계적으로도 피지컬이 좋다 이렇게 알려진 선수잖아요. 실제로도 피지컬이 좋은 건 맞지만은 이제 그걸 팀적으로 잘 활용을 하는 게 센티넬이 가장 강점이라고 생각을 하고 텐즈가 그 에임을 잘 활용할 수 있도록 나머지 4명의 선수들이 잘 받쳐줘가지고 정말 좋은 팀인 것 같습니다.
I'd have to say that I agree with both the points that you brought up. The reason Tenz play so well is because, the reason Sentinels play so well is because the team knows how to utilize Tenz's, amazing aim and mechanics. And so, because they have this ability, that's why Sentinels are so successful.
Now, looking forward, you guys get a rematch against G2 here coming up. It's not an elimination game, but it feels like an elimination game. What kind of message are you taking from the last loss that you had going into this next match against them again? And how are you feeling, going against them? And what are your odds you feel like here?
네, 다음 경기는 이제 G2를 상대하는 경기인데요.
네.
어떻게 보면은 좀 탈락 위기를 앞둔 경기라고 볼 수 있는데요. 어떻게 해서 준비를 하고 계시며 좀 어떤 성적을 기대하고 계신가요?
뭐 다음 게임에 어떻게 보면은 패배를 한다면 떨어질 수도 있는 상황인 건 맞지만은 지금 저희 경기 하나하나 스크림 하나하나 해가면서 저희 팀원들이랑 말을 맞추고 지금 경기력에 대해서 굉장히 예전보다 는 게 눈에 보이고 그리고 서로 어느 정도 만족도는 그렇게 낮지 않고 좀 높은 편에 있어가지고 그렇게 걱정이 되진 않고요. 아마도 다음 경기는 좀 더 성장해가지고 2대0으로 이기지 않을까 생각합니다.
We're actually very confident going into the next match against G2. We actually expect a 2-0 score against them. We've been practicing and scrimming a lot since our last match against them, and we've grown since then.
And last question before we get you out of here. Again, I really appreciate you taking the time to be able to talk with us. Korea as a region is really exciting to be able to see involved with Valorant on the level that it is. Between Korea and Japan, having the Asian audiences buying in to an FPS game is huge. How does it feel to be on the stage that you're on, representing not only your team, but Korea as a region? And, what kind of a message do you think maybe people that haven't watched Korean Valorant before would take away after watching you guys play in this tournament?
네, 어떻게 보면은 다른 FPS 게임에서는 동아시아에서는 되게 성공을 못했다고 볼 수 있는데요. 발로란트 같은 경우는 한국과 일본 팀들이 많은 좋은 성적을 보이면서 많은 팬분들이 봐주고 계신데요.
네.
한국이라는 지역이 어느 정도로 잘하는 것 같나요? 국제 무대에서?
저는 비전 스트라이커즈랑 저희가 올라왔잖아요. 비전 스트라이커즈는 아무래도 제 생각에는 정말 엄청 잘하고 있다고 생각하고 한국에서 하던 것만큼 그래서 아마 결승전까지는 쉽게 올라갈 것 같고 비전 스트라이커즈가 저희도 베를린 오기 전보다는 훨씬 더 좋아지고 있는 상황이어서 좀 더 좋은 결과 있을 것 같습니다.
All right, so I think Vision Strikers, as you saw today, have been playing really well, and I personally think they can make it into the finals. And even for us, we've grown since we've qualified for Berlin, and I think we can make it into the knockouts, make it out of the knockouts. So I think you can look forward to a good performance from the Korean region.
Hey, Korea and Brazil are my two favorite regions to watch just because of seeing these different teams, the organizations, some of your teammates from Seoul being able to be in there as well. It's just really cool. Hey man, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today, and good luck here. Hopefully, we'll be looking forward to you guys getting out of the knockouts.
네, 브라질이랑 한국 팀들을 굉장히 좋아하고
네.
한국 팀들 굉장히 많이 응원하고 있는데 꼭 이번 그룹 단계에서 다음 단계까지 진출을 하시기를 기원합니다.
혹시 이 말 한 번만 전달해 주실 수 있나요? 저희를 죽이지 못하는 고통은 이제 저희를 더 성장하게 만들 뿐이다.
So he just wants to say one last thing.
Yes.
What doesn't kill us can only make us stronger.
Listen, I appreciate it. You guys got this. I have faith.
Thank you.
Thank you.